Hello, everyone. I'm just going to get started. Thank you for joining me on this lovely Thursday lunchtime. If you could just make sure, everyone, that your mics are muted. I totally understand that there's quite a lot of us in this meeting, so I feel like it might get a bit crazy if everyone was on loud. But at the end, we can kind of ask any questions and so feel free to type in the chat if you want as well. Just as an FYI, yes, someone just messaged. This is going to be recorded and uploaded to our YouTube channel, so it'll be available for a few days afterwards as well. So if you do need to hop off or anything like that, feel free to do so, because it'll be available on our YouTube channel afterwards. Okay, fabulous. Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Put Pen to Paper, Becoming a Convincing Copywriter with myself. I am Olivia Hanlon, and I am the founder of Girls in Marketing. Now, I'm sure some of you will know, but if you don't, I founded Girls in Marketing back in 2019. At the time, I was working in a full-time role. I was working in marketing, and I absolutely loved marketing, but I think something that was missing for me was just making friends in marketing. I always wanted someone who I could geek out with about marketing things and just generally be excited about the world of digital. So I decided to set up Girls in Marketing because I wanted to find those people that were similar to me, absolutely loved marketing, and just wanted a new stance on friends in the industry. So feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. There's a little QR code there if you don't already have me. I know I have quite a few people from here. I can see a lot of familiar names. So I will just move on from that. Girls in Marketing as well, so something you may be familiar with, but I just thought I'd intro it anyway. Girls in Marketing, we are an e-learning platform and online community, and we are on a mission to bridge the digital skills gap and equalise gender seniority in marketing. So we do so through a range of means. We have resources, we have our member society, which is a monthly subscription, and we are now doing in-person events, which is super crazy. So we've got an in-person event in Manchester at the end of this month. Can everyone just make sure they are muted, please? Sorry. Yeah. Thank you. Sorry, guys. So we have our first ever in-person event at the end of May, which is really exciting, and that is in Manchester City Centre. But essentially, we are on a mission to just make friends, have some really good times, and just create an amazing community around marketing, because marketers are some of the best people. I know I am pretty biased, but I honestly think, and I'm sure you will all agree, marketers are some of the best people around. So I want to intro you as well to our member society. So as I said, some of you might be familiar with it, but you also might not be. Our member society is a place that you can come and you can feel educated, empowered, and connected with other marketers. So we want to essentially have a place where anything that you want to know, you can go to and you can find it. So we have a range of events that go on throughout the month. So these are all virtual, so available across the world, wherever you are. And they're also available for replay as well. So we have our members area where you can essentially go and just kind of indulge in all of the resources and opportunities. Equally, we have the action plans, which are A to Z in helping you create campaigns and everything in between. We have a ton of those. So I'll talk a little bit more about the member society later. But before we do, this is what we're going to cover today. Essentially, we're going to be covering what copywriting actually is. We'll go through the basics of that. I'm also going to go through a few different examples as well, because I always think it's nice. There are a lot of examples of copy about that we don't even think of. And we're also going to cover the difference between copywriting and content marketing. We're then going to talk about the golden rules of copy, so the must-knows, must-haves of copy. Then 4 steps to creating perfect copy. And then lastly, we're going to talk about the best copywriting formulas. So this is a little bit more theoretical, a bit more traditional for those who enjoy that. So we talked before about the member society. I just want to quickly put this offer out there to everyone. At the moment, from today, we have an offer going on for you guys as attendees of this webinar, where you can have your first 3 months of our member society for £15 a month. So for everything that you get, it is a real steal, even if I do say so myself. And we have a brand new copywriting course in the member society. So I know that everybody who is here is interested in copywriting. So if you are, then ultimately this is the course for you. It is a range of modules, there's videos in there, there's written content, everything that you need to know about copywriting is within that course. So I'll talk a little bit more about that in later on, but as I said, we have that offer going on right now. So if you want to use the code COPYEVENT at checkout, you can get it for £15 for your first 3 months. So I think that's everyone in now. Just to clarify again, for anyone who's joined up until this point, this is recorded and it will be uploaded to our YouTube channel for the next few days. So don't worry about it. Fabulous. So I want to go in and talk about copywriting, and I want to talk about what it actually is, because I think so many people get confused about copywriting, and it is a confusing topic when you think about it, really. But copy is the process of honing written words that will then inform and compel your target audience. So it enhances anything and everything. So from slogans to mission statements, media relations, and copy can be added at any point. And as long as it kind of talks to your target audience, then it's essentially everywhere. So your website, blogs, emails, social media captions, this is all copy and copywriting. But there are also the more traditional sides of copywriting, so products or billboards and stuff like that as well. And it really is a confusing topic for people who've never been in that industry, but something that is genuinely all around us. And just as a pointer to remember that good quality copy will stay kind of text-based. So anything that you see that is copy, it's always going to be text-based. So that is the main kind of point that I want to make. But copywriters basically aim to bridge that gap between you and content. And they have these unique skills, or you might be a copywriter yourself, you or the copywriter has these unique skills that can help deliver this information through content marketing in a really meaningful way. So copy is everywhere, genuinely is everywhere. Now, I thought that these were some good examples to kind of show you guys to understand a little bit more about copy if you aren't familiar with it. And just as a side note, really, these billboards are everywhere in the likes of London, New York, massive cities, Paris, Milan, Berlin, all of these amazing cities. You see these huge billboards everywhere and there's copy on them. And it might be something that as a consumer, you aren't actively thinking about, but as a marketer, it's something that you really pay attention to. Something that I always find really interesting is when you go into supermarkets or stores and there is a little description of food. So in the UK, M&S and Waitrose are particularly good at that. And I always think it's really cool to read the copy on them, because it's something that, especially when it comes to food, it just makes the food sound absolutely delicious. And it really is something that as a marketer, you become a lot more exposed to. So some of you guys might be exposed to that copy and understand that that copy actually is kind of enticing you to buy something, or it's really funny. And I always feel really exposed when I think about copy, because if we think of like a supermarket and there's something on the shelf and there's a description of it and it's something really nice and you pick it up and you buy it literally because it sounds like it's amazing. So copywriting genuinely is everywhere. And I wanted to add in some of my favorite examples of good copy. And I also want you to share in the chat what yours are, because I'd love to kind of read some of those out. So there are a few different brands that are super amazing at copywriting. Oatly is an oat milk brand. They're included, that's on the left. And then Innocent Drinks, they're in the middle, and Monkey as well. My favorite one genuinely has to be the Innocent one in this picture. So it's the bottom of an innocent carton, and it says on the bottom, you should probably try opening the carton the other way round. We're not telling you how to run your life or anything, but it seems like it would be much easier if the drink comes out the top, the spout at the top. It's really funny. And I genuinely, when I seen this, genuinely giggled to myself. And then the Oatly one is another side of the packaging, providing no reason at all why you should try this product. Again, it's really funny, and these brands are obviously physical products, so this comes to the physical product copy, but I thought it was quite nice to add these in. So share if you have any, what copy you think is great, if you've ever seen it, or maybe brands that you think are great with copy. Someone just said IKEA's copy is great. I definitely agree with that. Innocent, everyone's agreeing with me on the whole innocent situation. Aldi, Duolingo, Thursday, Specsavers. Specsavers are good. I always feel like Specsavers come back around and end up talking about themselves whenever they have kind of copywriting. M&S, P. Louise, Gymshark, Ryanair, Monzo. There's so many. Burger King, Carlsberg, Nike. Also, apologies if I'm pronouncing Nike wrong. Some people pronounce it Nike and some people pronounce it Nike. That is the real debate in life. So there's so many amazing brands and amazing pieces of copy that we see all the time. And going back to the point I made before, it genuinely is because copy is everywhere. And as a marketer, you do become so much more aware that it exists and that it's happening. So yeah, it is very, very funny when it comes around to everything. So I want to talk about copywriting and content marketing, because I think that, well, these are two completely separate jobs, but people find themselves getting really mixed up between the two terms. So I think it's really helpful to outlay that right now so that everyone is under the same understanding that copywriting is the actual text-based information and the writing, if you will. So this is, a copywriter is someone who's employed or commissioned to write compelling, persuasive copy. So this can be on blogs, landing pages, products, genuinely anything, billboards, etc. And then a content marketer is employed or commissioned to implement marketing strategies using a wide variation of content. So this includes everything, but not just the written word. So I think we kind of get mixed up because in smaller organizations, when you don't have a ton of copywriters and content marketers, often enough content marketers will take on the job of copywriters and write the copy for the marketing strategies. But if you're in a bigger organization, you may have copywriters and content marketers who work for the company. And I think that differentiation really helps in terms of understanding the difference between the two. And the main job of a copywriter is solely dedicated towards improving the brand messaging and engaging with customers in an innovative way. So there are a lot of benefits to having a copywriter solely rather than someone who does copywriting and content marketing, because they are just dedicated to that improvement of brand messaging and engaging with customers. They know how to work that brand tone of voice. They understand everything in terms of how you can actually create that copy that really converts people and makes you that convincing copywriter. And obviously today is all about becoming a convincing copywriter, and that is the job of a person who writes copy, is to be convincing, is to really have that brand tone of voice, and also just do everything in a cohesive and consistent way. And as I said before, this isn't something that comes easy to a lot of people. And sometimes people talk about, copy being something that comes naturally to people. Sometimes it doesn't. And it is essentially something that you learn over time. When I started, I did start copywriting, and I kind of moved my way into SEO from there, because I became more of a content marketer. So I started originally as a copywriter and discovered actually that I was more into the content marketing, and then I moved over to content marketing, and then I started doing a lot more SEO within the content marketing space. And I think that copywriters are some of my favorite people, because they really know how to convince you to do something through written words. And I always used to feel like when I was writing copy, it was really hard to understand the brand messaging and brand tone. So that's something that you should really pick up on in terms of when you are writing copy. But today we're going to talk about the kind of generic understandings and the rules around copywriting, going into the golden rules of copywriting. So I'm going to get started with those. I'm just making sure everybody is okay. Everybody can hear me. We'll just take a quick little drink. Also, apologies in advance, because I am from Liverpool, and that also means that I talk quite fast sometimes. So I will slow down, because I am totally aware of that. Amazing, fabulous. So the golden rules of copywriting, I'm going to go over a few of these today for you. And these are there are a lot of rules to copywriting, and I honestly can't go through them in the next kind of half an hour, 45 minutes. But what I can tell you is what are the most important things to note, things that I, when writing copy, have really understood and tried to kind of like nurture into my own work. So number one is to keep a singular focus. So you want to avoid steering off track, because one of the worst things that you can do is forget your focus and your purpose. So essentially going into writing a piece of copy and understanding who are your target audience, what is the focus of this piece of copy. So if you were going to write a website landing page, or just a general website homepage or something like that, what is the focus of that? Because not only will it help you when you're writing, but it will also help you with the CTA. So when you're thinking about a landing page or something like a billboard or anything like that, what is the purpose of that copy? What do you want? What is the CTA? What's the actionable takeaway from it? So keeping a singular focus throughout that whole copy will really help you to kind of narrow it down in terms of a funnel. So if you think of copy, and on a website in particular, or a landing page, you want to take that person through a story. You want to story tell and essentially keep that real focus throughout, because something that we can do a lot as marketers and as people is kind of focus too much on things that don't matter and almost kind of waffle as well. So make sure you're always remembering and focusing on your purpose, because that is so essential to the success of genuinely every piece of copy. Number two is to highlight and hone in on the pain point and then present a solution. So think about when you're writing this copy, what is the problem your product or service will solve? Really spell it out to the user, to the reader, and connect with them on an emotional level. And then once you're on that same page, you want to then present them with the solution, and you want to detail the value that benefits benefits them, that you can offer them, so that you can offer them. And I think the essential point really that I will go on to is the kind of you versus them point. So talking a little bit about pain points, you will have, I assume, within your kind of department or whatever you are doing, you'll have customer personas, you'll have buyer journeys. And I think that copywriting really overlaps with these things, because you need to understand where in the buyer journey your customer is, who you're writing this copy to, who is this target audience that you are talking to, and highlighting and honing in on their main pain points. Because if you don't understand the pain points, then you're not going to understand the problem that you are trying to solve. And essentially, you need to be able to solve that person's problem to convince them that you are the best person to go with, or you are the product to buy, or they need to get this thing right now because there's no other option than what you are presenting them. And also you need to think about why you are the best person for that solution. Because if you think about competitors, there are a lot of competitors out there in the world. If you are a singular brand and you have a certain competitor, actually it might be that you need to convince that person that you are the person to solve their issues, all as a kind of all-in-one solution. So you do that through copy. And copy, as I said before, genuinely is everywhere. So even if you're thinking about how you're going to structure a website page or a landing page or a billboard or product, kind of on the side of products, like product descriptions and stuff like that, you really do want to hone in and understand that pain point so that then you can present that kind of unique solution. Okay. I'm just going to check the chat really quick. Nothing for me. Amazing. Fabulous. And then number 3, this is what I was talking about before, and I think this is one of the most important points I'm going to talk about today. And that is focusing on them and not you. So you want to make sure that when you are crafting copy, that you are always focused on your user or your reader. And the focus should be customer first and then company second. So when you think about how you're creating sentence structures, how you're writing and perfecting copy, you really want to make sure that you are careful with your wording. And when you are not actively thinking about how you're writing, a lot of the time it can get kind of confusing to think, okay, how do I focus on them and not us? Because if you go on to people, businesses' websites, there will sometimes be, we are the best in the world or at, this, selling this thing. That's very much focused on them. That's not focused on their customer, on their consumer, the person that wants to be sold a service or a product. So it is so enlightening to see this, because what you want to do really is you want to build that connection with the reader, make them feel like you are directly speaking to them by using the second person, so you and yours, or even like a we and ours if you are more of someone that kind of wants to take it from an all-inclusive point of view. Because if you go onto a website and you see a company just talking about themselves constantly, as a customer, you don't necessarily relate to that or connect with that. Whereas if you are someone who really hones in on looking at, okay, what can this product or what can this service do for me? And really looking at this has genuinely changed how I see copy in general. So when you have time, I've got a quick task. I wouldn't ask for you to do it right now, but go onto your company website if you have one, or if you don't currently work for a company, just look at your favorite brands and analyze the amount of times that the copy focuses on you versus on them. So you should be focused on the reader or the user at least 70% of the time. So if not, it's likely that you do really need to rewrite the copy of your website with your target customer in mind. So it might be a really great task if you don't have a company to just have a go at a brand that you enjoy and rewrite the copy if you fancy a little task. Or if you do work for a company currently, go back and kind of do that as well. So as I said, it should be 70% of the time. Now, there is a big difference when it comes to the About Us page. I wouldn't say if you're looking at a website and you think, oh, but the About Us page is all about us, that is probably an exception to the rule. But your homepage and every other page should really be focused on the reader when it comes to the copy. That can help with that kind of like you, or us, or they, them, them perspective. Get my words all tangled up. But it is really interesting. And if anyone's ever done this exercise task before, you start to pick up on how much the company or the copy is talking about the company. And it really does make a huge difference. So if we just look at the Girls in Marketing website, I did a quick video the other day. So you can see here, we've got welcome to our cozy corner of the internet. So that's kind of an R, that's inclusive. Then we've got our industry needs you, and we're talking about you. So we are directly talking to you. It's time to flip the script. Our industry needs you to do this, to unleash your inner confidence. Dive into, our kind of resources you can indulge, and then going down a little bit further, we do talk about devote yourself. Again, it's all about you. We are speaking to you directly on this website. And then when you listen here, if you look here, sorry, not listen, I read the words. It says listen to our conversations with industry experts, and then it's a we perspective there as well. So there is a mix, but if you think about, that's probably an 80-20, I would say, just from that initial scroll of the homepage. But it is a really great task to do. And this is something that we did quite a while ago when we did our rebrand now, which was a good few months ago. Our website in general was very us focused. So it was, we are this, or like, Girls in Marketing does this, or Girls in Marketing does that. Whereas now we've really honed in on the you perspective. And I think that you can tell the difference between a company that focuses on their customer and a company that focuses on this themselves. Even if you go and look at the most amazing companies, the biggest companies in the world, sometimes the copy on their website isn't as focused on you as possibly it should be. Now, whether that impacts the strategy or how many people are paying for certain products or services, I'm not entirely sure. But what I do know is, from a copy perspective, we really need to focus and put the emphasis on you, because you are solving their problems, but you don't need to brag about it to them. You need to tell them what you are doing, how you are doing it, and why they should come to you and buy your product or buy your service. So it is a really great task, and I would definitely recommend doing that. And someone's just talked in the chat actually and saying, what's the best for B2B? Is it the best your 100%? So many people talk about B2B all the time, and it's kind of like a B2B, B2C perspective, but actually B2B, you're still talking to a person. There is that business owner or a senior leader in that team who maybe wants a service or wants a product. There is still a person, so you're still talking to them. So it should definitely still be, even if it is B2B, focused on the pain points of that user, the pain points of that reader. Because so many people say, B2B is completely different to B2C. And I think that it is to an extent, but when it comes to copy, we are still talking directly to these people, especially when it is on our website. So this is specifically talking about kind of website copy, but obviously there's other elements of copy as well. So I would definitely recommend going away and doing that task. And then, you might end up rewriting your whole company website. So you're welcome for that task that you might have on your hands. Or it could just be changing little things, maybe, changing the way you word a sentence. So if we were to take we hope each episode showcases a little bit of everything in our weird and wonderful industry, that is inclusive, so that would be okay anyway. But even if we wanted to re-word that, we could say we hope you enjoy each episode. So again, it's coming back to the we standpoint rather than the you standpoint. So going kind of away from this a little bit, the number four of the golden copywriting rules is to make your copy scannable and scrollable, because people aren't going to read paragraphs of copy unless they're interested first. So you want to break your copy down into digestible, easy to read chunks that ultimately is the one and only way that you're going to be able to get these people, because there's a lot of stats floating around, but I think it's something ridiculous. Like, people have a attention span of 3 to 7 seconds, which I think with the rise in social medias like TikTok and video content that is really short and kind of snappy is so true. But making this copy scrollable, scannable, you are going to catch the eye of your reader, and that copy will then ultimately become one of the best things that they've ever read. And then I'm not saying that copy shouldn't be paragraphs, because it can be. It just needs to be scrollable, scannable at the beginning, and you can understand the copy by scrolling, scanning it, because then you're going to get the people to come in, to read, to understand, to digest the content. So I would recommend 100% making sure that it's super scannable, scrollable, and that is kind of that in terms of the golden rules. So in terms of 4 steps for crafting perfect copy, these are the 4 main steps I would say you need to take to craft perfect copy. You want to first identify who you're talking to. So when you know who your target audience is, then you can create copy with ease. And we've talked a little bit about this today in terms of identifying your target audience. Really identify, but hone in on who are you talking to, because understanding those types of people can make a difference to your copy completely, because everybody is going to have a different pain point. Everybody is going to be in a different part of the buyer's journey. Everybody is going to be completely different, but there will be certain elements that you can hone in on in terms of where they're at in that buyer journey, the sort of things that they've purchased before, maybe the sort of person they are. That target audience really matters, because again, it goes back to the golden rules that I talked about before, which was the keeping the focus. You want to keep your focus on that person. So talking about the you versus them argument, you want to always make sure you're talking to that person directly, but you can only do so if you know who you're talking to. So one of the things you might want to do is, if you are someone who needs to write certain copy and customer personas, buyer personas don't exist, it might be a case that you need to actually create them, or work with someone who can create them, or just kind of understand more of the target audience. Then the second thing is to identify the type of copy that you'll be creating. Every piece of copy will be completely different. You cannot just go into a task thinking, okay, I'm going to write this piece of copy, and then you don't know where it's going to go. Because if you're writing copy for email, if you're writing copy for a website, if you're writing copy for a product description or a billboard or anything like that, you need to know how you're going to do it. You need to identify that type of copy. So definitely do this again, along with identifying who you're talking to, identifying the type of copy that you'll be creating, and also looking at previous examples as well. So what sort of copy has worked in the past? What works for your competitors? What has worked for your competitors? What hasn't worked for them? And just kind of using that variety in terms of what has worked and what hasn't worked, and understanding that can really make a difference in terms of the type of copy that you are creating. And then the next thing is to use a variety of sentence lengths. So this just goes back down to sentence structure, to be honest, which might be something that you are totally familiar with, but it might also be something that you aren't. So I would say get yourself familiar with different sentence lengths. Really become comfortable with having a rhythm to your writing and engaging your reader. When we were younger, a lot of us might have talked or studied like poems, but I like to sometimes think of copywriting as a kind of poem, if you will. Obviously not literally, but having that rhythm, having that really nice kind of smooth flow can make a difference when it comes to, okay, how am I talking to these people? What is this sentence length going to be like? And using a variety of those. People who use really long sentences all the time, well, it's not scannable, it's not scrollable, you're not going to entice that reader. But equally, if you're using short sentences all the time, it's going to be very blocky. So using a variety of sentences can really help to craft that perfect copy. And then lastly, in terms of doing that, is to end with an action. So everything should end with an action. Now, there are exceptions to the rule when it comes to products, or, we talked before about Innocent and Oatly and some other brands that have physical products. Those might not have physical actionable verbs. But if we're talking a little bit more about kind of website traffic and emails and general copywriting, you want to always end with an action. So verbs like learn or optimize, drive, integrate, utilize, engage, download, these are all really great action words. So you are presenting them. Essentially, if you think of it like a story, you're presenting them with their problem. You're telling them, you're saying to them, I understand your problem, I get it, and I'm going to present you this solution, and then I'm going to action you to purchase something with us, or to learn something with us, to do this or do that, because that is the journey that you want everybody to be on. And sometimes it can get really confusing to do that. So I want to talk about, before we kind of finish up, I want to talk about the formulas for copywriting. So these are like official formulas. I haven't made these up. These exist online. But these can really help, depending on the type of copy that you are writing, to give yourself some structure. Because I understand totally, I have been there in terms of writing copy, that sometimes you get given a task and it's just kind of, go on, here you go, do it, and that's done. But actually you want some sort of structure. So these are 3 of my favorite formulas. So there's BAB, so there's before, after, and the bridge. So you've got like to create an understanding of where your audience is. This is your world. Now imagine what it'd be like if you had this problem solved. So in this world, you have these many problems, and this is really stressing you out, or this is something else. Then you've got your after. So you're imagining, what's that world like? If we have an example of, I don't know, like a cleaning product, and you think, here's your world, you've got a messy kitchen, your kids are running everywhere and it's really stressful. But afterwards, you've got to imagine that you have a really nice, sparkly, clean kitchen, your kids are not running everywhere anymore. And that's the before and the after. And then you've got that bridge of how to actually get there. So as a copywriter, you've got to create that story using this sort of formula to say, here's your world, this is how you get there, and this is after, what kind of happens with that. And then FAB, so fab, is features, advantages, and benefits. So what does your product do, or your service do? What are the features of that? Then the advantages, so why is it helpful? And then the benefits, so what does it mean for the person reading? Now, if we think back to the you versus them kind of argument, we can look at the FAB and say, actually, features focuses on you as a company, but then A and B, advantages and benefits, focus on the person and them and you. So you should use the advantages and the benefits kind of part and section to focus on them as a person, why it's helpful to their life, why it's helpful to them, and then what it also means for them. So if we go back to the kind of cleaning scenario, why is it beneficial to them? What does your product do? The product cleans, it's antibacterial and blah, blah, blah. Why is it helpful? Well, actually, it cleans the bacteria, it does this. And then the benefits for the person reading is that actually this is the best thing that has ever happened, because it's going to make your kitchen super clean. You don't have to worry about germs anymore. If you've got young kids, you don't have to stress yourself out about anything, and that sort of thing, etc., etc. So that is FAB. So we've had BAB, FAB, and then now AIDA. I can never pronounce that. So this is probably one of the most common, and you will probably be super informative and understanding of this. So this is attention, interest, desire, and action. So attention is getting the reader's attention. Interest is the interest in fresh information that appeals to the reader. And then the desire is the benefits of your product, service, and the proof of what it kind of says and what you do and why you do it and everything like that. And then the action is asking for a response. So this is probably one of the most true when it comes to the actionable. A lot of people use this formula for writing copy for websites. So it's kind of like you're getting the attention, you're reeling them in, you're getting that interest, and then you've got that desire, because that person they can't imagine a life without this interesting, amazing product anymore. And then you've got the action, so you're then asking for a response, and you're saying, you know, why don't you buy this product or do this thing, and that sort of thing. So that is everything in terms of this today. So I just wanted to let you know that if you want to learn more about copywriting, we have only just scratched the surface. So in our new copywriting mini course, we cover everything that you need to know. So it goes a lot more in depth than today. And the mini course is available as part of our Member Society monthly subscription. So at the checkout, you can use the code COPYEVENT and it'll get your first 3 months as £15 per month. So I'm going to get you the link now so that you are able to do that. So I will show you. But just as an FYI as well, we have a lot of other things included in the Member Society. So we have live workshops, employability resources, live CV clinics, virtual networking, action plans, templates, and everything like that. We've got so many. But I just want to bring to your attention the fact that you can pay for yourself, or you can ask your employer to pay on your behalf. So our Member Society is growing all the time, and we have a plan that is the same for everyone, but your Member Society subscription is paid for by your employer, because it is a personal and professional development tool, and a lot of employers are totally happy to fund this for you. So as I said, you are more than welcome to come and pay for yourself, or you might want to get an employer to pay for you instead, because a lot of people do that and it works, but you don't necessarily have to do that if that's not going to work for you. So here is the link to check out. This is only available, one second. This offer is only available until Monday. So just to keep in mind, this offer is only available until Monday. I'm just inserting it into the chat so that you can go and get yourself involved, because I would absolutely love, with all of my heart, to see you guys there. Like, it genuinely means so much to me when people join and new people come and join our crew. And plus, I know that so many people want to learn more about copywriting. So definitely go. If you click the link that I've just put in the chat now, the copy event code is already on there, so you can just check out straight away. If you want to go to your employer and kind of pitch it to them, give us an email, because we've got a booklet. So you can email us at hello@girlsinmarketing.com, and you can say to us you want the employer guides, because if you want to pitch it to your employer, we know it's a difficult thing. So definitely do that. This offer is on until the end of the day on Monday, so 5 p.m. on Monday, and then that is it. So as part of this offer, you get to become an unlimited member, and your first 3 months is £15 per month, and then after that it's £17.99. And the copywriting course is honestly one of the best courses that we've produced. I'm sure that everybody will get some use out of it. The booklet, if you just email us at our email, and we'll send you over the booklet, so you can pitch it to your employer. There's a lot of information in there. At the moment, we don't offer a monthly, we don't offer a yearly subscription. It's just monthly. We are hoping to do that in the next few weeks, so definitely look out for that, because we will have a deal about for that. And someone's just asked, actually, is if you can cancel at any time. Of course you can. Obviously your first 3 months will be £15 per month, and then £17.99, but you are welcome to cancel at any time. But we would love to have you for as long as possible. We have some amazing members, people getting in touch all the time. And yes, so definitely check that out. It's been so nice seeing so many of you here. It's been amazing to see Everyone's putting their LinkedIn. Make sure everyone connects with me as well. I'd love to have a connection from you. And yeah, definitely give us an email if you need the employer guide. The email is hello@girlsinmarketing.com. If not, go over to the link and become a member. The offer is 3 months, $15.99 per month for the first 3 months. And as I said, it's only available until Monday at 5 p.m. So that is the link. And I will find my LinkedIn as well, actually. I'll find my LinkedIn for everyone. Bear with. Amazing. My LinkedIn is, I will type my name for everyone and you can see me. I think a lot of people are connected with me anyway. Olivia Hanlon. So you can email hello@girlsinmarketing.com. Literally hello@girlsinmarketing.com. And we can get that sorted for you. We can send you over a booklet because I'd love to have some of you guys. We have a lot of amazing people joining the Member Society as part of their employer. But if not, definitely join yourself anyway, because we can always change over to the subscription. If you want to make use of the offer, but you also want to pitch it to your employer, you can totally do that. So if you join today or by Monday, you can join, just pay for yourself and then pitch it to your employer, and we can change over the payment details on the subscription if that's what you want to do, because I know that you might want to make use of the offer. So definitely go over there and get yourself the offer whilst it lasts. And it's been lovely having so many of you here. Thank you so much. I've loved seeing everyone. If you want to see more of me, because I know it's amazing, I'm always in the members area everywhere, so definitely join. And I love getting to know people. I love helping people out. It's been so nice to see all of you. Thank you. It's been so nice seeing everyone today. Hopefully I'll see you all in the members area at some of our members events. We've actually got our first come chat with us on Monday, I think it is. So if you want, I'm going to be there so we can all have a little chat, get to know each other a little bit more. And we've also got our in-person event in Manchester as well. So definitely check that out if you are interested. But if you come to the event on Monday, our virtual event, I would love to have you. The Manchester event is the 28th of May. It's a Saturday. Yeah, it's on Eventbrite if you want to check that out. Fabulous. Amazing. It's so lovely having everyone today. This is going to be recorded, as I said, so I'm going to put it up on the YouTube channel. You'll get an email. We'll email you out the offer as well in case you've missed the link. But also, yeah, just don't worry. We have recorded it. We will send it over to you. And that is what will happen. Okay, amazing. Well, everyone have a lovely rest of your week. Have a lovely weekend. I know so many people are excited for the weekend. Who's excited for the weekend? I am, definitely. Amazing. Fabulous. Thanks so much, guys. It's been so nice seeing everyone. Amazing. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Fabulous. Okay, I'm going to end this now. Definitely join us. Would love to see some of you on Monday at our networking session. Come chat with us. It'll be amazing to see all of you there. And yeah, have a lovely rest of your week. Thanks so much. Bye, everyone.